Hey, what's going on, guys? KitsuneTCG here, back with another video, and today I thought I would take a look at an updated Swordsoul list, obviously utilizing the new cards, or the new Tenyi cards that have been unveiled, and obviously they are all fantastic. They work really well in this strategy, and I'm super excited to kind of get them over here eventually, because Swordsoul is a deck that I will always try and play. So definitely excited to see these, and that I just kind of go through, because it did really change kind of the way you want to play the deck a little bit, so I thought I'd kind of go ahead and do an update here. So we are running still 3 Moyi, obviously 3 Moyi, 3 Longmon, and 2 Taya. That monster lineup was never going to change. What has changed is we've cut the Ecclesia. Don't really need to go into Ecclesia anymore. The new level 4 Tenyi kind of just replaces that entirely as an option, and obviously it doesn't rely on you having to have less monsters in your opponent, so it just is better in this situation. Plus it's a worm versus being a spellcaster, so overall, you know, cutting Ecclesia I think is an easy thing to do. And then we are still playing 3 Emergence. Have brought back in the Sacred Summit. I think this just works really well in this deck. Pretty easy to see it either off of drawing it, or, you know, now it's something you can search out, obviously, with Qishao. And then the 1 Blackout. From there, sticking with 3 Ashuna, obviously the best one in, or maybe not even the best one anymore, but obviously one of the ones you want to play 3 of, just because it can bring out any other Tenyi that you need. And then we do have the Tenyi Spirit Surya, so getting a level 4 tuner for Tenyi is huge, and obviously being able to summon it when you control even effect monsters is great. So, you know, a lot of times you were ending your turn when they would imperm your Moyi, and you didn't have, you know, any way to play through that. Now you have a way to get the tuner on board and just kind of continue your combos. So it's a really great addition to the deck overall. So definitely want to max out on 3 of them. From there we do have the 2 Vishuddha, 2 Adhara, and the 1 Shrihana. The 1 Called by the Grave, and then kind of the 2 additional copies essentially with the Heavenly Dragon Circle. And then we do have 2 of the Eternal Perfection of Tenyi. Obviously this deck, or this card, is really crazy, just being able to go into the other Tenyi field spell, kind of get you a draw 2 on your opponent's turn, which is obviously why, you know, for the most part we've cut Pot of Desires. Don't really think it's as necessary now. You're going to get that draw 2 on your opponent's turn, which is just fine. And then obviously this is going to get you access to either, you know, Heavenly Dragon Circle as a way to play through some hand traps, or, you know, just a Vessel for the Dragon Cycle as well. Just something else that you can kind of utilize to, you know, get a few access to a few different kind of options to insulate your plays. So just really just an all-around great card. I mean, it's definitely kind of a 2 of it here. You know, sometimes you'll see it drawing it, but obviously the new Synchro, you have a way of searching it out. The 1 of Protos, obviously this card is broken. You can utilize it in a lot of different matchups, you know, whether or not you need to do Fire, Dark, really have a lot of options in this deck to be able to summon this. And then just finishing it out with some hand traps. Obviously this is still a small enough you know, engine that you're able to run a pretty decent amount of hand traps. We do have the 3 Ash Blossom, 3 Valor, and 3 Imperm. Moving on over to the extra deck, still have the 1 Yazi. I'm still running 2 Baxia. That can definitely change. You can maybe go down to 1 at this point, but still think 2 is pretty good, just being able to, you know, not only bring out something from the graveyard, but just being able to kind of shuffle back your opponent's board going second. We've got the 2 Qishao, and then the last new card here being a level 8 Synchro, and this just obviously being able to search out your field spell. Obviously you do need to have 2 worms either in the graveyard or banished, but it's really easy for this deck to do. You're obviously getting at least 1 by going into this card, you know, utilizing Moyi or whatnot, and usually by that point you have utilized a Tenyi, so really easy thing to fulfill, but something that you kind of got to keep in mind. It's not the first thing that you can kind of do. So otherwise, great card. You know, kind of the worry with giving rid of Pot of Desires is that you make Chinging a little bit worse, you know, not having as many cards banished, but being able to attack a second time and, you know, can't be targeted, can't be destroyed, this card will definitely be a pretty good card to just finish out games as well. So you definitely don't lose the OTK capability in this deck at all. Still the one Draco Berserker, you know, still a good card to kind of have in the deck. No longer the best Tenyi Synchro, but still definitely one that you want to play. We still have the Chao Feng, the Qing Ying, and then the Quixing Long One. Have bumped the Monk back up to 3, obviously making a few cuts here. You know, you want to have access to a non-effect monster on board to take advantage of some of these new cards, so playing 3 Monk I think becomes a bit of a necessity again, but, you know, the deck overall is still got a few flex spots that you can kind of try out, so I think that it's okay to run 3 of the card. And then finally, still the one of Shaman. But yeah, that is the deck. I'm really excited to kind of give this a chance, try it out in person, and see how things go. So I cannot wait for these cards to come over here. But let me know down below what y'all think. I mean, these are essentially 3, you know, custom cards for the Swordsoul strategy. Really couldn't ask for anything better in the moment. So yeah, really excited to see where things go, and I will see y'all next time.